Hey guys, if you're trying to edit a video in Adobe Premiere Pro but the app keeps lagging or running slowly, then stick with me as in this video I'm going to show you some settings you can change to improve the performance of the app. Make sure to follow all of the steps in the video if you want the best performance settings. So let's jump straight into it by launching the Premiere Pro app. And the first thing we're going to change is the playback resolution. In the bottom of the playback window here, let's change this from full to either half or quarter. I'm going to set mine to a quarter, and this is going to reduce the video preview quality when you play it back to help with speed. But don't worry, as when you export your video, it will still be set to 100%, as changing this number only affects the preview window here. We can then disable high quality playback by coming into View, and make sure that high quality playback is unchecked. To help with smoother playback of your clips, we also want to enable GPU acceleration by coming into File, come down into Project Settings, and inside of General. Under Video Rendering and Playback, you want to make sure Renderer is set to Mercury Playback Engine GPU Acceleration, and then you can just press OK. Next, let's delete all of the old cache files, as these can take up space and cause the app to lag. Come into Edit, underneath Preferences, and we want to come inside of the Media Cache. Then just select the Delete button here. Now, I would recommend deleting all of your media cache files, but if you currently have a project open, then that option isn't going to be available. So just stick to the top one here, and that's still going to free up a lot of space and give you a nice performance boost. And then we can just tap OK. Another setting that you want to turn off is inside of Edit, under Preferences, inside of Media, and make sure where it says automatically refresh growing files, you want to deselect this, as this feature is for live broadcasting, which most of us we don't need, and by disabling it you can give yourself a nice little speed boost. From this menu we want to come into Auto Save. This one is really optional to you, but if we're going for maximum performance, we want to disable the Automatically Save Projects button. Just of course, if you disable this, make sure to continually save your work throughout as you are making changes to your project. And then we can just tap OK. Next thing we want to do is change our memory settings, and we're going to allocate more memory to Adobe Premiere Pro. Come inside of Edit, underneath Preferences, and inside of Memory. And at the top here, you will find a number, and that basically tells you how much RAM you have installed on your computer. And then what you want to do is you want to decrease this number here where it says RAM reserved for other applications. And this is just going to affect your background programs while you're working on Adobe Premiere Pro. So for most people, you can just set this to the lowest number, which is 3. But if you do want to prioritize some background applications, then you may want to set this slightly higher. Then we can just tap OK. Next thing, if you have a window open anywhere on Adobe Premiere Pro called Lumetri Scopes, we also want to close this if you're not using it, because although it sounds like a silly one, this can actually also improve the performance of the app. Just right-click it and select Close Panel. Now that's all of the settings inside of Adobe Premiere Pro. And next we want to make sure we close down any background applications. Come to the Start menu and search for Task Manager. You can also come to this by pressing Ctrl-Alt-Delete on your keyboard, and then tap the Memory tab to organize it in priority of which ones are consuming the most amount of resources. And all you simply need to do is close down anything that you're not currently using by right-clicking it and then just selecting End Task. Then the last and final thing we need to do, which people often overlook but it does make a big difference, is just updating our graphic card drivers and making sure everything is up to date. There's a quick and free tool we can use to do this. Just head to an internet browser and come to a website called drivereasy.com. From here, just scroll down the page until you find the download section, and then press the download button here. Once you've installed and downloaded Driver Easy, simply launch up the app, and then you want to press this Scan Now button. Once the scan is complete, we then just want to update the graphic drivers by selecting the Update button next to each of them and following the steps to update the driver. We can also press this Update All button at the bottom here, but this is part of the paid plan, so I'd recommend just sticking to the free one and coming into each of them one by one. Then lastly, come into the Start menu and search for Settings, scroll all the way down to Windows Update, and then select Check for Updates. Inside of here, we want to make sure we're running the most up-to-date version of Windows. Now, once we've finished all of these steps, you are running the most optimal settings for Premiere Pro. If you are still experiencing lagging issues after following these steps, that indicates an issue with the performance of your computer rather than the app, and you may want to consider purchasing either more RAM or more storage. If this video did help you, please drop a like and subscribe for more videos like this one.